Hello, I'm David Pendergrass, and my son has sent me some more Instagram reels. Let's see what he has in store for me. So here's one. You're going to hell. Apparently someone has told this person that before. And it's kind of cool how she does her best.
Let's change the subject. And we don't have time to unpack all of that.
Huh. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, I think several things. One is, of course, I understand people get upset about this when you worship yourself and you don't like the idea of being punished or judged. You do not like the idea of going to hell, and you just don't. And I've never really understood that because Muslims think I'm going to their hell, and I don't care. I mean, I just don't care. I think they're mistaken. I would never, ever, ever, ever do a video countering Muslims thinking I'm going to the Muslim hell, because I just don't care. So I've never understood the need or the desire to make sure that I have a retort. But that's just not true. It's not biblical. Hell is all over the place. So here, this person here, apparently she said, the concept of hell isn't as biblical as you think it is. Well, isn't as biblical is not the same as it's not biblical. But the word hell doesn't appear in the original Hebrew or Greek text. Terms like Sheol or Hades refer more to the grave or the afterlife, not a place of fire punishment. That's in general, that's true for the Old Testament. That's true for Sheol. Sheol is a place, the abode of the dead, and they use metaphors for, it sounds like the grave. Hades, sometimes in the New Testament, sometimes that's right, but I'll go, the next word looks correct. So Jesus should be capitalized as the proper name in English. Jesus spoke of Gehenna as a symbolic warning, not a literal place of eternal torment. Well, to that I would say is you need to prove that. You need to demonstrate that from the text or proper exegesis, that that's not what he literally meant. And if it's a symbolic warning, fine, that's fine. But that doesn't mean that hell's not a biblical concept. So you've confused concepts with literal locations, and those are not the same thing. But you're correct that Gehenna is the term used. It's from the Hebrew for Valley of Hinnom, just outside the southern part of Jerusalem. In the New Testament, the notion of hell often reflects contemporary Jewish literature and cultural views of the time, not a literal eternal punishment. So you have to demonstrate that. You have to, let's dig deeper and seek the truth beyond tradition. Follow my page, look at what the Bible actually says on hot topics like this. Woo, snap. There you go. That's all. I get that. I guess it's fun to be contrarian. It's fun to think you have insight on something no other person has. And I just have a suspicion that Maddie Model, or whatever her name is, probably can't even read Greek or Hebrew. I have a suspicion because your grammar is bad here and you can't spell the words correctly. And so I wonder if you don't even know what it is. And this is maybe fun and spicy to mess with them Christians and then have an argument, I guess. I don't know. Well, there's more out there on the topic. There's an enormous amount of scholarship, but in general, hell was considered a state of being, at least for Jesus. He talked about hell and Gehenna a whole lot, and it's mentioned in other documents as well. So it absolutely is a biblical concept. Maddie, you're just profoundly mistaken. Just read the Gospels, and even in English, and you'll see that hell was a real state of being. How literal the descriptions are, that's debated. I don't think they're that literal. Why is that? Because Jesus will say things like, there's worms there, but there's darkness, but there's fire. Worms don't live in fire, and darkness can't be bright with the fire, and so forth. So he mixes different metaphors to have a state of being that's horrible and wretched, and you don't want to be there. And it's where they dump trash. Gehenna is a trash dump, as far as we can tell, the time period. So it's a horrible, horrible image. But it's absolutely biblical. If you want more, check out my books, Read, Discover Jesus, and A Skeptic Challenges a Christian. I talk about the topic of hell a little bit in those texts, and I address them, and you can decide for yourself whether you find it persuasive. But there is more work beyond just memes and Instagram and so forth, what scholars do with these kind of concepts in the ancient world. You can find a direct link to those books in my description below. So that's all. See you next time.